one has everything. We know this already. This is probably why when it comes to insurance and InsureTech, we have to form strategic partnerships. You can't do everything as a one insurance company. So fostering success, building a resilient InsureTech ecosystem through strategic partnerships is our conversation for the last panel of the day. We want to find out how do the heads of digital transformation in insurance companies actually work through all the changes in technology and find a way to incorporate partnerships starting with their very own management. So before we start, I would like to introduce James Takomita. Please introduce yourself, tell people who you are and where you work.
So my name is James Takomita. I work for APA Insurance as the group CIO. My pleasure.
All right. Joyce?
My name is Joyce Sang, working at AR Insurance as head of digital transformation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thomas Momina. I work for a company called Kenya Insurance. I believe most of my customers are watching me right now. Asante.
Go partners. So, guys, I'm curious. When it comes to strategic partnerships, the biggest partnership that you have to form is probably with the C-suite. So how do you bring them around to understanding the necessity of InsureTech? How do you make sure that digital transformation is not just a concept to them, but something that they can do practically? James, please start off with that.
What has worked very well for us is we have constant engagements, and I think it stems from a desire to achieve digital transformation. So we have an open culture that sort of supports innovation, and I think there's a lot of involvement from the C-suite all the way up to the board with a lot of explanations and detailed value propositions on some of the tech solutions that we propose. So I've seen a lot of support from the C-suite, especially when you engage them from the very inception of discussions around partnerships with InsureTechs, getting to conduct proof of concepts, and trying out solutions that could potentially work to change the way we do our processes, and most importantly, to transform our business. So constant engagement with them, and also awareness, getting them to just accept technology and understand the landscape in which we operate and the value that technology can deliver. I've seen that quite productive when it comes to getting the buy-in from the C-suites.
Okay. Do you find yourself having to train them consistently on the digital technologies that are coming up?
Yeah, so we have had engagements where trainings happen at that level, not only on the emerging technologies, but also even on cybersecurity. So we do a lot of collaborative trainings for the C-suite, even for the entire employees, just for awareness. So that, when it comes to investments, when it comes to decisioning, then it's actually easy when the leadership is actually well aware of the solutions.
How have you handled digital transformation, Thomas?
Well, for us,
Yeah,
what?
so-
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, James.
Just go ahead and finish.
Yes, sorry, thanks, Kara. So I think for us, we have sort of looked at a solid value proposition for our customers. We put our customers at the center. So we do a lot of market research to find out what our customers need. And we have looked at strategic partnerships with InsureTechs to bring specific solutions to sort out such pain points for our customers. And when this happens, we actually engage or we involve our customers in co-creation of such products. And I would say that currently we are doing quite a lot in the digital space, from putting up solutions that can be accessible to our customers from the comfort of their locations, either through web or through mobile. And I think we have rolled out quite a number of products that are available to our customers out there. So it's a journey that we started sometimes back in 2018, and I think it's coming up quite well.
All right. Thomas?
Yeah. So for us, what works is basically creating an environment where we encourage innovation, basically through involving everyone in the ecosystem. First of all, we work with the departments internally, where we create a brainstorming session where some of our staff come and share ideas, and we also invite external InsureTechs, where they come and sell, or rather pitch what they have on offer. So through that, we're able to identify what we need as a corporation. What I know is that as the client of InsureTech, we have the experience and probably the muscle to sponsor InsureTechs, and the InsureTechs, they have the innovation and the agility to ensure that we collaborate and come up with products. Thank you.
So who would be an ideal partner in your ecosystem?
Well, we have different, I would say, tech. For tech, we have, I'd say, tech-based InsureTechs that have like AI, ML-based products. We are able to look at what they have on the table and see if we can implement it in our strategies.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Joyce? How do you talk to the C-suite? How do you move past the technical jargon and actually make them understand that digital transformation is a business strategy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, I think for us at AR Insurance, digital transformation is the heart of our strategy. And when we began the year, for the 2023 strategy, we actually even have an innovation hub in the company that is now well resourced, and our KPIs are actually tied to the innovation hub. So this means that all the products that are churned out, we have an opportunity to actually take them through the innovation hub. They're tested in the market, and we also have partners, not only in the tech industry, but also the marketing partners who assist us to even test these products with real customers, so that by the time we are going to the market, then we already have this particular product. So a product that has been tested. So far I can say that we've managed to churn out quite a number of products from our innovation hub, which are fully supported by the C-suite, all the way from the board to the management team. The hub is fully resourced, has adequate resources, and also in terms of the financial capacity and also the human resource. So that the churning out of the products from that particular space has given the management team the confidence that actually this is the right direction that the company is taking through. So the support has been there, and it started, and we've now really churned out quite a number of products, and it will even get better as we move along. So it's been a very exciting journey, and the management has really bought into it at AR Insurance.
Okay. So one of the key aspects of strategic partnerships is access to data and technology. How can InsureTech companies and their partners collaborate on data sharing and technology integration while keeping in touch with the Data Protection Act and GDPR? Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Carol. So really, as we move into the collaboration and integration with the InsureTechs, one of the things that is the heart of this is data. We can't actually run away from integration with data. And for us to actually have this seamless collaboration and ensure that the data in the insurance industry is safe, there are some strategies that we can implement. And one of them is actually having the right legal agreements between the insurance companies and the InsureTechs. And this legal agreement should actually have the data protection in it, the global data protection clauses in it. They also need to have the local data protection clauses in it. Specifically, for instance, in Kenya, there is a very robust Data Protection Act. And these InsureTechs and the partners need to actually come together and ensure that this is a robust agreement. Secondly, as we share data in insurance companies is quite sensitive, and also it's enormous. We need to come up with a structure, a governance structure, whereby we say, if we need this amount of data, we only share data that is required between the insurance company and the InsureTechs, have the right access controls so that then we don't expose data and it brings legal issues as we move along. And I think finally is around also the cybersecurity strengths that are there between the InsureTechs and the insurance and the partners. By implementing very robust insurance, the cybersecurity tools, the adequate monitoring, and also very prompt ways of identifying any breaches that in data. I believe with implementing some of those strategies, it will assist us to ensure that our ecosystem around the data is protected and we're able to share the data with the trust that is needed to advance more.
So Thomas, as Kenya Re, I'm pretty sure that you have, not only do you have partnerships with other insurers and InsureTechs, but you also have to think about something like a startup coming and collaborating with you. I mean, we've seen cases of Lamy where they share platforms or they have APIs that other people can use. So when it comes to Kenya Re, how do you partner with startups? Do you approach them? Do they approach you? Do you have a partnership that is based on mutual interests, or you design it as it goes along?
Well, first, we are guided by our strategies. We try and look at what we are trying to achieve probably in the next 5 years or so. And then from that, we are able to identify startups that are aligned to our strategic objectives. So when we talk about how we collaborate with those startups, we've created a very open environment where we actually invite them into our organization, and they're able to openly just share what they have. Then we see if it's aligned with our strategic objectives.
Okay.
Yes.
That simplifies it quite a bit. James, how can platforms and systems be integrated when you're assessing a tech stack and infrastructure, and you're looking at your partners' technologies, and you want to be sure that their technology and your technology can operate together at the same level, and you're also talking about change management? When you're looking at all of these factors as a CIO, how do you work with a startup?
Yes, thanks, Carol. So when looking at partnerships with startups, I think when it comes to integration, the first thing that comes to mind is making sure that we have adequate integration frameworks in place. In this case, I'm talking about things like APIs. And I think we need to make sure the APIs are secure, and there are specific standards that actually govern security around APIs. But even as this happens, I think interoperability of data actually is quite key, because I've seen situations where if you don't take care of standards that can make sure that you have data portability from one system to the other, then you could end up with vendor lock-in. So I think coming up with standards that would ensure that your data can be transferred between systems is actually very key when it comes to discussions with some of these startups. But most importantly, what we mentioned is around the data sharing agreements. I think when these agreements are being done, because once integrations are done, then you have to sort of get into data sharing arrangements. So the purpose, the scope, the duration for which this data is to be shared needs to be well defined. And looking at things like encryption, ensuring that the data, whether in transit or at rest, is well encrypted to just guarantee security of that data, and defining proper access controls within the systems. And for us, what works is the principle of least privilege. So we only give rights to people, to staff members and employees to access what they need to access, and not more. So I've seen that working for us quite well when it comes to technology integrations. But of course, the biggest elephant in the house is the legacy systems that we are having as insurance companies. So you find that the startups would come up with a lot of agility and risk-taking frameworks, whereas the conservative nature of our legacy platforms then slows down integration. And I think integration sometimes becomes quite complex and expensive. But I think there are methodologies that are used to go around this, which are working very well for our company.
Okay, so now that you have collaborative partnerships, we say, what are the best practices when it comes to bringing on board disruptive technologies? How do you deal with something like that?
Yeah, so I think for us it's a culture of open communication and transparency in communication between us and our partners. So we build up platforms and we put in place collaborative tools and platforms where we can be sharing ideas, feedbacks, and even insights freely with them. But also we tend to encourage what I would call a fail-fast culture. So we look at scenarios where we can take some calculated risks, and if at all we get to fail, then we learn from those failures. We don't see the failures as setbacks. But most importantly, we try to put the customer at the center. Anything and everything we're doing, innovation, has to rely on gathering feedback from our customers and trying to address their pain points. And I think with this, we just track how we are progressing with such innovations and collaborations and the value that we are driving. And with things like POCs, proof of concepts, we're able to slowly scale up our rollout of tech solutions for our customers.
Okay.
So that's the approach.
All right. So, Joyce, when it comes to partnerships, how much should we go global? I mean, I know that there are insurance covers like, say, Bupa. I would love to have a cover of Bupa. So they have a global reach. But when you're doing partnerships and you're based here as your headquarters, how do you partner with people on a global scale? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just to start with some statistics, which it's well known that in Africa and in the world generally, the penetration of insurance is quite low, at about 2.45%.
They say 3%.
3%, lower than 3%. And in the world, it's about 7%, which is quite low if you look at the population. That means that actually there's a lot of our population out there who are exposed and they're not covered in any way. So this brings us to a point whereby as insurance companies are partnering with InsureTech, there's a lot of opportunity that is out there. And this goes without saying that then these people, we need to look for ways in which we can go global. This is with partners with InsureTech, even the service providers. And there's a lot of opportunity, and I've said one of them is the market. There's already market there. There are so many people who don't have any form of insurance. Second is on the pool, the talent pool that is there in the global. You find that if you are based in Kenya, you can be able to have talent from any part of the world. And this is also a cost-efficient strategy because you're able to share the resources across. And of course now with the different cultures around the world, it gives you an opportunity to even understand the market much better and come up with products that are suitable. Well, there's a lot of opportunity in going global. There's also a myriad of challenges. One of the key challenges, of course, the regulatory hurdles. We have different regulations around the continent and also around the globe. And these regulations, you find that some of them even are conflicting. And therefore, how do you marry the two to come up with something that can work with both of you? The second aspect as well is around the culture. I think in insurance, we've come to learn that products are very specific to a particular population and to a particular group of people. And with different cultures, different preferences, you find that for an InsureTech to go global and be successful, it then means that they actually need to have the right products, the right pricing for them to go through. And finally, it's also around the issues of technology, which is mentioned about. You find that in some countries, the readiness around the technology is not where other countries are, and also the internet penetration is not at par, and even the speeds are not there. So those brings in the challenges of going global. But all in all, I can say that going global for the InsureTech is something that will actually open up the insurance industry and enable even more people to be covered and have cover. Yes, cover.
Why is it that there are so few people with insurance cover anyway?
I think from my perspective really is in insurance we've sort of, for the longest time, we've not been able to share data. We work in silos most of the time, and the products that we come up with are not customer specific or personalized in a particular way. So if I create a product which is going to serve Carol and another person, but Carol has a different preference. So it means that then our products are blanket wise and they don't cover the specific needs of the people. But I'm glad that with the current technologies where around the AI, machine learning, then there's this opportunity to come up with personalized products and also technologies that can even make these products very simple. Because insurance is, the processes are quite complex if you look at it. Not everyone would really understand it in a simpler way. But the technologies that are coming in give us a very big opportunity to actually disseminate this information in a very easy way, given that the mobile penetration in Africa generally is actually very high. If you can be able to get this information out there in a way that people understand it, they can comprehend it, and coupled with the products that are specific to them or personalized, then I believe that it's going to support this. And now with the accelerator programs that are there on InsureTech, I know that there's one called Binma Lab, that they're really trying to ensure that the InsureTechs really have the funding to develop the right products. They have the regulator support to come up with the different products, the different frameworks that they need to come up with. And I think that in the near future, as we move forward, the penetration is likely to improve and even improve at a very high rate.
Okay, I hope so. Because that will probably bring the premiums a little lower. Thomas, you're the innovation team lead. Yes. What comes first? Is it the people or the technology?
I believe the people.
Okay.
We have to get it right from the onset. The technology, you can have the best technology in the world, but if you don't have the people or there's no buy-in from the people, you won't go any far. What I've seen as the major challenge when it comes to innovation is actually the buying or the flexibility and the adaptability to take up some of these ideas that are coming up from some of the InsureTechs and also from the staff that we have within our organizations. You find that there is no platform that is there for most of us. If I'm looking back, I'd say about 4 years ago, that was the first time I actually heard about blockchain and its disruptive, what was expected to disrupt in the insurance industry. In Africa, we've tried to actually take it up, but the uptake has been very slow. It did. But when you look at the likes of United Kingdom, the Swiss Re's and the Munich Re's, those are reinsurers in those big continents. They've really taken up technology, and we are like, I'd say, a decade away from getting to where they are.
A whole decade?
Yes.
Oh, and here I was thinking, I wanted to ask you guys, if we jump ahead 10 years and we move past digital transformation, what's next? What's next for InsureTech after digital transformation? Do you see a formless void, or is there something that's coming into that space?
Actually, I think digital transformation is a journey.
Okay.
It's not an event. It's a journey that you walk around, you start and continue growing as you move along. And I think for the InsureTech industry and more so the insurance industry, given that we are sort of behind, if you compare the insurance with the financial industry, I think we have a very big opportunity to really move ahead and progress much better. And as we move ahead, we find that there are very many opportunities for us to actually partner with the insurance companies and also the InsureTechs to partner with other sectors in the industry. For instance, the car manufacturers, they're able to actually partner with InsureTechs. The hospitals can be able to partner with InsureTechs. And therefore, you find that issues like policy administration becomes very easy. Issues around fraud, claims processing, it becomes very easy because of the level of collaboration and the interconnection that the industry has been able to attain. And this actually will not even be a competition. I know previously, because of the fact that we've not been able to, we don't share data amongst ourselves as underwriters. As we move into the next stage, we now become collaborators, whereby we are able to get information around a particular maybe a particular customer, their policy, if there are any issues with it, then we share information, and that even increases our losses or our claim ratio, because we are able to exchange very vital information that previously it has been held by the individual partners. So I really feel like digital transformation is the way to go. for the InsureTechs, all the partners that are in the insurance ecosystem, given that it will be the next item to actually even have the penetration. We've been in 2.5 for so long, I think 10 years or so. Yeah, we believe that maybe in the next 10 years, we'll be talking of even a 5% because of the current technologies that are in place.
Okay, with digital transformation being a journey, now that you told me you don't know what's coming next, how about we look at the trends in partnerships? I didn't even know that this was a thing, but you just talked about one, which is data sharing. And we had mentioned one, which is global reach. What are the other trends when it comes to partnerships or collaborative partnerships with other InsureTechs or with just AI?
I see one of the areas where InsureTechs will have, there's a trend is around how we use the data. There's aspect, of course, the sharing, but one of the advantages that we have as insurance company, we've accumulated a lot of data over the years. We've had AR has been there for so many years, or Mutual has been there for so many years.
Yes.
So we have a lot of data in our side.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The InsureTechs, yes, they're agile, they're fast, they're technology, they have the technology, but they don't have the advantage of the data we have. So if they're able to use that technology from the InsureTechs to come and mine this data and really give us some insights around how best then do we even price our products. Because in insurance, I think how we price our products is generally through trends, general information. But if you're able to get very specific information, and for instance, get information maybe around Mandera County, and we are very sure that this is the problem there, and these are the products that are needed, and this particular person requires this, then that really is something that is becoming a game changer in the insurance industry. Another aspect is also on the telemedicine, and whereby instead of having our customers go onto the clinics, into the hospitals, the InsureTechs can connect the customers to the telemedicine pharmacies, and they can be able to get medication over the phone. You don't have to go there.
Yeah.
Delivery of your medication, you're able to process your claim from the phone, and it improves the whole customer journey. And so I really feel that the trends are there. We've just started, and more things will come in as we progress.
Okay. Do you believe so, James? Do you believe that, the future is better?
Yes, absolutely. And when you look at technologies like
We can't
blockchain,
hear you. Are you on mute?
No, I'm not on mute.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You can
You
go
hear
ahead.
me, yeah? Yes. So I was saying that when you look at technologies like blockchain and the fact that we're talking collaboration here, I see a lot of partnerships around such technologies to make sure that we can share data in a transparent manner and in also a very secure way. And from an insurance perspective, to streamline processes like claims, for example, or even underwriting. And I think in the morning we had a discussion from Bima Leo, presentation that was quite interesting around usage-based insurance and telematics. I think I see a lot of collaboration around such technologies to put in place personalized insurance products that customers can easily buy, and they only buy when they need to use insurance and not the traditional insurance pricing that we're seeing today. So there's quite a bright future beyond just digital transformation. And I think there's going to be a lot of collaborative efforts in this to just make sure that we're able to grow our insurance space.
What do you think?
What I can say is that at the end of the day, while we're collaborating with InsureTech, it is to serve our customers better, right? So what I'm seeing is from our end, we've been trying to do a lot of automation of processes. For example, when we look at underwriting and claims processing, you'd find that what is coming up with the technologies that are coming up, there will be a lot of automation. Some jobs might be lost, but new jobs will be created. That's what I can see in the next few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any last words? Any last words? Something that you would like to tell us about InsureTech that we should look forward to? Or perhaps the whole concept of customized insurance is around the corner more than I think, because for me, the aspect of customized is only to the extent where my premium is bumped up if I use my inpatient more. That's the only extent. But if I had to look forward to the future and I had to look at all of these trends, what would be your final words to the industry on InsureTech?
For me, I'd say that digital transformation, collaboration between InsureTechs, other partners, that is insurance, and everyone in the ecosystem is quite critical, even as we move into the future. That will guarantee us even of better services, better products to our customers, personalized products, and even, as I said, even more penetration of the insurance. So I feel like us as insurance, we need to be open to these InsureTechs. We collaborate with them and not see them as competitors, but rather collaborators who are coming to push, collaborate in the industry to make the industry better.
Okay. James?
Yes, so I think for me as a parting shot, I would love to see an increased open innovation concept as a methodology or a framework that is adopted by the players within the insurance ecosystem, to see strategically how to partner with the startups, most of the InsureTechs, and even I think there's quite a lot within the insurance space, up to and including the fintechs that you're seeing, the health techs, and even technology platforms from the regulators. So I think partnerships, strategic partnerships from a very open innovation concept to try what can work, what cannot work, would easily help insurers to actually build products and services that can deliver a lot of value to customers out there. And I think that is the concept we are trying as a Apollo Group, and I'm seeing it working very well.
Okay. Finally?
Correct.
For me, I think I'd say InsureTech is the way to go, collaborating with InsureTech. And what I can add for the insurance and the insurance companies, we need to really be open to innovation. Let's have innovation hubs. Let's open that space for InsureTech. Let's open up our minds to new technologies that are coming up. And I believe we will ultimately, one, serve our customers better, improve the insurance penetration, and ultimately improve the lives of the people that we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Joyce. And thank you, James. You have been amazing. Thank you for your input, and I'm glad that you guys showed up. You have lived up to the innovation of digital transformation, and your input has been epic.